General anatomy of eyeball. Introduction. The eye, or the organ of sight, is situated in the orbital cavity of the skull. It is well protected by bony walls of the orbit. Orbit also contains muscles of eyeball, their nerves, blood vessels, and lacrimal gland. Each eyeball is similar to a camera and which produces images. Structure of the eyeball. There are two structures of the eyeball: wall of eyeball, light transmitting media or refractive media. Wall of the eyeball. There are three walls of the eyeball: outer layer, middle layer, and inner layer. Outer layer or fibrous coat, which consists sclera and cornea. Middle layer or vascular coat, which consists choroid, ciliary body, and iris. Or the last one is inner layer or nervous coat, which is consists of retina. Outer layer or tunica externa or tunica fibrosa. This gives a shape of eyeball and contains sclera and cornea. Middle layer, tunica media or tunica vasculosa. This layer comprises of three structures like choroid, ciliary body, and iris. The choroid, ciliary body, and iris together form the uveal tract. This layer contains blood vessels. Pupil is the small opening in front of it. Inner layer or tunica interna or tunica nervosa or retina. Retina is the light sensitive membrane. Sclera and cornea. Sclera or white of the eye forms of the outermost layer of the eyeball. The anterior 1/6 part of the sclera is transparent and is known as cornea. The cornea is described as the window of the eye. Light rays pass through the cornea to reach the retina. Functions of sclera: it provides protections of the delicate structures within the eye. It resists intraocular pressures. It maintains shape of the eyeball. The smooth external surface allow easy eye movement. Choroid. Choroid is a thin pigmented membrane, dark brown in color, which is situated in between sclera externally and retina internally. Ciliary body. Ciliary body is the continuation of choroid, consisting of smooth muscles fibers like the ciliary muscles. Ciliary body contains suspensory ligament for attaching the lens in position. The ciliary muscles help in accommodation by adjusting the thickness of lens. Iris. Iris is the pigmented membrane surrounds the pupil. It arises from the margin of ciliary body and forms a dark centered opening called pupil. The shape between cornea in front and the lens behind is the anterior segment. It is again divided into two parts by the iris. The space between the iris and cornea is the anterior chamber. The space between iris and lens is posterior chamber. They are filled with a clear fluid, the aqueous humor. Retina. Retina is the innermost layer of the eyeball. It is a thin, delicate layer continuous posteriorly with optic nerve. The outer surface of the retina, formed by pigment cells, is attached to choroid. Its inner surface is in contact with the hyaloid membrane of the vitreous. The small area of retina where the optic nerve leaves the eye is the optic disc or the blind spot. It has no light sensitive cells like rod and cones. The retina has three parts: optic, ciliary, and iridoidal. The optic part contains nervous tissue and it is sensitive to light. It extends from the optic disc to the ciliary body. The thin, non nervous, non sensitive layer covers the ciliary body and iris is called ciliary and iridoidal part of the retina. Lateral to the optic disc are depressions called macula. The central the center of macula is again depressed to form the fovea centralis. It contains cones only and it's the site of maximum acuity of vision. The rods and cones are the receptors of light and sight. These cells contains photosensitive pigments. Rods or rhodopsin, cones or iodopsin involved in the conversion of light rays into nerve impulses. Blood supply. Arterial blood supply by branches of ophthalmic artery, ciliary arteries and central retinal artery. Venous drainage. A number of veins including the central retinal vein. Light transmitting media or refractive media, which is aqueous humor, vitreous humor and lens. Aqueous humor. Aqueous humor is the clear fluid fills the space between cornea and lens. It is secreted by capillaries of ciliary process. From the fluid reaches to the anterior chamber which finally reaches to the canal of Schlem. Interference with drainage of aqueous humor results in an increase of interocular pressure which causes glaucoma. Normal IOP is 10 to 20 mm Hg. This leads to atrophy of retina leading to blindness. Functions. It helps to maintain intraocular pressures and thus maintains the shape of eyeball. It is rich in ascorbic acid, glucose and amino acids and nurtures the cornea and lens. Vitreous humor. Vitreous humor or vitreous body is a colorless, transparent, jelly-like substance which fills the posterior segment of the eye behind the lens. It is enclosed in a delicate hyaloid membrane. Functions. It helps to preserve the spherical shape of the eyeball and to support the retina. Lens. The lens of the eyeball is crystalline in nature. It is situated behind the pupil. It is biconvex, transparent, and elastic in structure. Lens refracts light rays and helps to focus the image of the object on retina. Lens is supported by suspensory ligaments like zonular fibers, which are attached with ciliary bodies. Accessory organs of the eye: eyebrows, eyelids and eyelashes, lacrimal apparatus, conjunctiva. Eye is the organ of the sense of sight situated in the orbital cavity. It is a delicate organ and which is protected by several structures. Thanks for watching.